All right. Happy Wednesday. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Rob Romanowski. I'm the Director of Sales Operations for 3HTI. Joining me today is our Director of Marketing, Jeff Gavio, and leading the presentation today is Zach Carson, who is a applications engineer with PTC and the virtual pre-sales technical specialist with the Virtual Center of Excellence at PTC. So today what we're going to do is, the title of this webinar is Managing a Multi-CAD Design Environment. And one of the things about, you may have experienced, whether you're using product data management or you're not using anything at all at this point, or even if you are using PLM, sometimes it can be really challenging just to manage one type of CAD system. Because even with one type of CAD system, you can use a lot of time trying to find the correct part. Sometimes engineers or designers will work on the wrong part, or if the same part is in there multiple times and they don't know which one's the most recent, then they'll just create a new part, which adds some more clutter. So one of the things that's great about Windchill is that it is CAD agnostic. It'll manage any CAD system and will allow you to know which part is the correct, not only which part is the correct part, which one is the latest, and also who made the changes and updates to that specific part file. So we're going to take a look today at managing SolidWorks with Windchill's SolidWorks Workgroup Manager. And the reason we're doing this is because I think it's pretty obvious that if it's a PTC solution being Windchill, it'll manage Creo very effectively. So we're going to use this example today where we're going to use SolidWorks examples and how Windchill manages SolidWorks, because once again, Windchill's CAD agnostic and it can manage multiple CAD systems at once. It can manage Creo, it can manage SolidWorks, it can manage CATIA, it can manage Siemens Unigraphics, all simultaneously. So without getting any more into it, I'm going to let Zach handle the presentation. Zach, about how long are we looking at?
30 minutes is probably pretty good.
30 minutes. Yep. Perfect.
All right.
All right.
Hey, I'll take it from here then.
Sounds good.
Yeah, as Rob mentioned, today we're going to just take the role of a SolidWorks user. We're going to walk through what it would look like for Windchill to manage some different CAD data. The one thing I do want to point out before we get started today is for today's example, it's SolidWorks. Like Rob mentioned, it could be anything. It really doesn't matter what the CAD system that you're using is, and the process that you're going to go through to manage that data is going to be the same regardless. You're going to use the same tools. The process will be the same if you're using SolidWorks, Creo, AutoCAD, Inventor, CATIA. It makes no difference from the Windchill perspective. So what we're gonna go ahead and get started here today. And you'll see here the title of this says the SolidWorks Workgroup Manager. So the Workgroup Manager is really what this is all about. And that's an application that seamlessly integrates Windchill into your CAD authoring tool, and then allows you to manage all of your CAD data in Windchill. Now, from talking to so many companies in the industry, we've really identified that most everyone faces pretty similar challenges when it comes to managing CAD data, especially CAD data from different systems. Whenever you have multiple CAD applications that you need to use and manage, the trouble is how you go about actually doing it from different CAD tools and consolidating it into one central source. A lot of the CAD systems have PDM systems that they work with, but only they work with. So SolidWorks has SolidWorks PDM. That's not really going to manage anything other than SolidWorks. Other systems do the same thing. Windchill has a leg up because it can really manage anything, and it can be the one place where you're putting all of it. You don't have to have separate licenses to separate systems. Just use Windchill and it can do it all.
Yeah,
now,
the other issue with SolidWorks, Zach, is that these other systems in the past, the PDM systems or third-party systems that Dassault acquired for SolidWorks, they never really made a homegrown system for SolidWorks, and now they're trying to push everybody to 3D Experience, which just isn't going over too well. So
yeah,
just wanted to interject that.
Yeah, good thing to add. Now, lot of times what happens, what companies are doing is using file drives. Sometimes it's your Windows File Explorer. Sometimes they're controlling, you know, drawings and whatnot in literal filing cabinets. But really the idea is it's just a lot of uncontrolled storage methods, and it becomes really tough for designers and engineers to make sure that they're working with the latest versions and that no one's overwriting each other's work in the process. Obviously, that ends up resulting in tons of waste and lost time, tons of money that you're kind of that your company's spending. It's really just lost time. And then, of course, in the end, it means a ton of rework for any engineers, any designers that are involved. If me and Rob are both working on the same thing at the same time, and I save my changes first, well, you know, as soon as Rob saves his, it overwrites everything I did, so all of my time was lost. I just wasted who knows how long. And this is something that happens all the time. Some of you on this call might have experienced it, and it's not a problem you want to deal with, and it's something that Windchill can remedy extremely easily. Lastly, you have limited version control. So not only are you overwriting each other's designs, you also have trouble finding the most recent data to work with. An informal method that I see used all the time is just using naming conventions. You'll manage everything in your Windows File Explorer or in a SharePoint, but really all that you're doing is naming it differently, and that's manual. So one little, you know, you fat thumb one key, and now everything can be messed up if you don't notice it right away. The solution that PTC has to these challenges is Windchill's Workgroup Manager. So it runs alongside your CAD authoring tool by connecting to the Windchill server so that you can manage all of your data in a single source, which is Windchill, where everybody with access in your enterprise can go in and just grab the data as they need it. It's all secure. It's all controlled with permissions and accessibilities. There's a check-in and check-out process to make sure no one's getting into any last save win situation. So there's a lot of capabilities when it comes to data management that really take you up a notch from the very manual and very basic processes that you have to follow if you don't have a system like Windchill designed to do this. So first, let's look at the capabilities of the Workgroup Manager for SolidWorks, right? So first is the embedded data management tools. So if you look at the picture here, Windchill has a tab within SolidWorks that gives users the ability to use really all of Windchill's key data management tools in the context of SolidWorks or whatever CAD system you're using that you're comfortable with. So the benefit for you is you don't really have to be a Windchill guru to check in, check out items, connect to a server, make design changes, even push metadata from SolidWorks or from your CAD system in Windchill and pull data from Windchill into your CAD system. From the design perspective, it's apart from just a check in, check out, it's not going to affect what you're doing in the CAD tool in any way, shape, or form. That is not going to change. It's not going to get in the way. It's just there as added data management functionalities. So in this case, we're going to go over today how seamlessly it integrates with SolidWorks. Like I said, it could be another CAD tool. The Workgroup Manager is really just working alongside you. As I mentioned, it's not interfering at all with any work that you're doing. And the last thing that you're getting here is enterprise level visualizations. So you're getting the automated version and iteration control. You're getting the automated formation of these lightweight CAD representations, like you can see in the picture on the right. They can be viewed by any user in your enterprise, even those who don't have CAD tools. If they don't have a CAD license, it doesn't make a difference. They'll still be able to view the models in Windchill. They're not the real models, they're just lightweight representations, but that's amazing for people who don't work in the CAD system, do work in Windchill, still can benefit by getting a visualization and a visual representation of what it is that they're working with. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and jump into the demonstration now. Rob, do you want me to go through a couple questions right now or wait till the end?
We could go through the questions at the let me see. Yeah, there's a couple questions that came in. You know what? I didn't pick this up either, Zach. The presentation you just went through was only at the first page. You didn't go through the deck.
Oh, okay.
So I apologize that I didn't pick that up, guys.
Well, you know what? That's okay. It was only a couple slides. The big stuff that we're going to go through with jumping into Windchill is going to happen. It's going to happen now.
Okay. We just go in the demonstration, I guess.
Okay. Sorry, everyone. That we can jump back in at the end if anyone wants to. The talking points, if you were listening, it was just a few bullet points on the slides. You didn't miss a whole lot with that. All the good stuff is coming up. All right, so without further ado, we'll go ahead and jump into the demo. So what you're looking at now, this is the home screen of Windchill, but it's within the workgroup manager. So everything that you're seeing outside of Windchill, kind of around the edges of your screen, that's the workgroup manager. You don't have to use Windchill inside of this. You could just have this running in the background and then use Windchill in whatever your favorite web browser is. This is just really the client that's going to connect the two. So it's up to you how you want to use it. It really doesn't make a difference. It's not going to affect performance or capabilities at all. So we're going to start here. We'll just go ahead and open up a folder that we have for SolidWorks here. And you can see here just in this, the recently visited, that I have some other workspaces as well. You know, I have one for NX, AutoCAD, Inventor, SolidWorks. So we're not going to dive into those, but like I said, it's going to manage really anything. You can see more of that here in the design data within our products folder. Right now, in this folder, this is just all of our different SolidWorks designs. So a few things that I'll mention before we jump out of this page. I just want to briefly say here, this page is all SolidWorks data, and you can see the information that we really have here. So on the left-hand side, with each one of these models that we have that we're managing in Windchill, each one of them has their own visualization. It was generated automatically whenever we checked the SolidWorks model into Windchill. You can see they each have a unique name or number. So that's something that you can define what the naming or numbering convention is that you want. Version automatically assigned, state automatically assigned. You can manually change any of this stuff too, but this is all stuff that ideally you set it so that as soon as you create something, it's automatically put into the system and generated. All right, we're going to focus on a particular SolidWorks product that we have today, and it's going to be the steering column foot. So it's part of a steering assembly that we have. It's a whole assembly that was made in SolidWorks. All the components were made in SolidWorks, and we're going to be going through today and opening this up and actually making some changes to it. So first here, I just want to show you really the BOM. This is kind of at a top level what the BOM looks like, and you have the visualization on the right. So this is interactive. You know, you can manipulate it. You can zoom in, zoom out, move it around, select on different components. You can click on different components and it'll highlight in the structure on the left. The structure on the left is really your BOM, but it's an overloaded BOM. So there's tons of information in there that you can collapse or expand and really show as much or as little of it as you want. I'm going to focus in here just on one of the parts, one of the components within that assembly. And this is what we'll be working with a little bit more hands-on today. It'll just be this sub-assembly for the foot plate. So what I want to do first is we're kind of going to simulate the process of taking a part and within our company going through a change with this. So the change from the top is probably going to come from a manager or, I don't know, an inspector that found something wrong or something like that. It's not probably going to originate or with the designer a lot of the time. So what we'll say is we're going to say that I'm a manager. I come in here and I'm going to tell the designers who are going to be eventually making the change what needs to be changed. And I'm going to use this tool called Creo View. It just comes free with Windchill. and it's a universal viewer. So you can open up any type of object in here, any files, any models, whatever it is, and mark it up, add comments to it. It's really all about collaboration. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to say, I want to change the pad size. And maybe I want to take some measurements or do whatever in here. I could do those sorts of things. But for this, I'm just going to keep it simple. I'm going to say change the pad size, and I'm going to save this off. And what's happening is I'm saving it directly to Windchill. So now anyone, in this case, it's going to be the designer, but anyone who goes and looks at this part in Windchill can see that marked up annotated view that I just made, and anyone will know when they look at that exactly what needs to be changed. One of the things that we hear all the time that companies struggle with is communicating or managing changes. It's a lot of it's done by just word of mouth. Maybe you send an email that says, hey, I need to change this or that, or you send a text or a Teams message or something, and there's kind of some stuff that gets lost in translation there. Using a tool like Creo View that's free, you don't have to have, say, a CAD license to open up and mark up a model in there. It's amazing. It's going to keep everyone on the same page. It lets everyone get a good understanding of what they're working with. And what a lot of people do is even that marked up version that I created, as soon as it's saved to Windchill, that might actually kick off a workflow that you have set up ahead of time and is automated. So once I submit that annotated version there from Creo View or model from Creo View, it kicks off a workflow. So now the designer who's going to be making the change immediately and automatically knows, hey, I need to make a change to this model. It's a task that they'll be assigned, automatically. So they'll know first and foremost, as soon as they log into Windchill, what needs to be done. Now what we're going to do is jump into SolidWorks, and we're actually going to go through making that change. So a lot of this, this is just some basic CAD modeling principles, very easy stuff that we're going to do here. So this isn't really the point of the demo, but it is good to see still. So in this SolidWorks system, what you'll notice, and I mentioned it before, is you are just seeing that PTC Windchill tab kind of for the first time in this foreign CAD system. Doesn't matter what the CAD system is, but you'll see I have the key data management capabilities in the toolbar at the top. So check in, check out, open from Windchill, connect to the servers. I have my server management. I can save viewables, so different views and whatnot that I kind of orient in SolidWorks. I can save those to Windchill as well. And I've even have integrated notifications in SolidWorks. So as soon as I go to check this out to make changes, you can see in the bottom right, check in or check out has succeeded, which I want to do because I want to make changes and I don't want anyone else to be able to check it out and make changes in the meantime. Right. And we'll just go through and make some very basic changes here. If you remember that visualization we marked up, it was just change the size of this. So we'll make it a little bit thinner, a little narrower. And that looks pretty good. And then the other change I'll make, just so that it stands out for you to see in Windchill, is we'll change the color of it from green to blue. So you know when you're looking at the latest version. Okay. That looks pretty good. Okay. Now, once those changes are made, what we can do is just go ahead and check this back in. So whenever we check it back in, what we're saying is, I've made the changes. I want to push all of those changes back to Windchill. And what you'll see is the model, the visualization is going to update in Windchill automatically. It's automatically going to iterate, and it will automatically be checked in. So now everyone else can go ahead and make more changes to that part, to that object if they need to. And you'll see here exactly what I just outlined. Visualization changed, the version went from 1.4 to 1.5. The other thing that you'll notice is it doesn't just update this individual part, it also updates the assembly that this component is used on. So not just the steering column, but the whole foot assembly as a whole that we looked at in the beginning. And I'll go ahead and open that up here in a minute, and you'll be able to see that as well. Before we get into that, I want to take a look at this drawing for this actual component as well. So, well, the whole assembly really. And what this is going to show you is very important. It's not just Windchill managing data from the CAD tool you're using. It's actually a two-way relationship, which is not something that you see a lot. We can pull data and manage data from your CAD system in Windchill, but we can also pull Windchill data into the CAD systems as well, because they're fully integrated, right? You can see here, what I'm doing is I'm opening this drawing and I'm actually bringing in a column that's lifecycle state. That's a property, that's a Windchill property, plain and simple. I have design, I have prototype, maybe I have released or whatever my other lifecycle states are, and I'm bringing those into SolidWorks. So now the engineers who are working in SolidWorks, the designers, they don't have to leave SolidWorks to see this information. It's giving you a way to just kind of continue to work in the tool that you like. You don't have to go into Windchill any more than you really need to. You can just continue to work in the tool, in the CAD tool that you're familiar with. All right. Now that you've seen that, I am going to go ahead and open up this assembly. And what you might be thinking is, okay, well, you've done some basic stuff. Yeah, you've changed a few things, a couple dimensions and a color. But what happens whenever we actually, what's it look like to create a new part? How does that work? And that's what we're going to do here. So we're going to take this assembly that already exists. It's the whole foot assembly. And we're going to put in a connecting rod across the front of this thing to keep our foot locked down a little bit. So that small circle in the front, the small cutout, we're just going to use that as basis to put a connecting rod across this entire thing. It's going to keep our foot down. And what you'll notice is how Windchill manages this and kind of creates this part automatically once you create it in the CAD tool. All right, so let me just extend this to the other side. And got to clean it up a little bit. And that looks a lot better. So here is that individual part that we created. So you know now it's a standalone part, at least on the Windchill side of things. It's a new part we created. It's part of our steering column foot assembly. So what does that look like from a Windchill perspective? Well, we're about to find out. Before that, one other thing that we want to do is, this isn't just kind of a dumb model. There's other metadata that we have as well, and something like material maybe. So I don't actually know what material this is going to be. We'll just say to be determined. But what you'll see is, just like a minute ago, whenever we pulled metadata from Windchill into SolidWorks, we can push data from SolidWorks into Windchill as well. So that property is actually going to be something that we can search upon, or we can see on the Windchill side. All right, so now that I'm done making those changes, just go ahead and check that back in. And we'll jump back into Windchill here. All right, so in the drawing there, that updated as well. I'm going to go ahead and check that back in. And forgot to check it in before, so I actually have 3 things checked out. I'll just check them all back in at once. If this were someone else that did this too, if you had another designer working on this, if you highlight over this icon that I'm doing with my mouse now, it would say specifically who it's checked out by. All right, and now everything's checked back in. So we'll just search up that whole assembly. And what you'll see is all of the changes that we made have been pushed to the assembly automatically, including that new part that we added in. So right here is that assembly. You can see, all right, the foot plate we changed the color of, that's been updated in the assembly. And if you look closely at the front, there is the new part that we created within that assembly, specifically in SolidWorks. It was automatically put into our visualization in Windchill. It was automatically put into our assembly in Windchill. And all of the object-specific metadata, that's been pushed over as well, which you'll see in a second, because what I'm going to do is actually open up that connecting rod individually. And you'll see that the material, if all went according to plan, should be, say, TBD. If that was something, let's say it was aluminum, that's a material you would actually be able to search in Windchill. You could literally search aluminum in place of searching, say, a part number, and actually get results for the parts that are made out of that material. And if you look here at the bottom, you can see that material 2, about 2/3 of the way down the page, says to be determined. All right, it's automatically been assigned a version, automatically generated the visualization, so everything is good to go here. And what you also see is if I come to the related objects, Windchill is telling me that this particular component is part of the whole steering column foot assembly. All right, so it's automating a lot of these processes that you would otherwise have to do manually, and to be frank, are where a lot of companies get hung up. It's where they end up losing a ton of time and money as a result of that. All right, the last thing that we're going to go through here is just to create a new promotion request. And we're doing this because we feel that the changes that we've made have all been completed. We've finished updating the model, updated the drawing, looked over the related information, and now we're actually ready to have this reviewed before it officially gets released. So to do that, I'm just really collecting the information for the steering column that I want to take from in work to released. You could have this done just automatically. We're just kind of doing it manually to show you the process. Select all of these promotion objects. Again, just say I want to take them to released. You can add comments for each one individually too. It's pretty nice. Always add comments. It's my recommendation. Keep everyone on the same page. And then whenever we have a new promotion request, these are the people that are working in this product, and I'll just select a couple for who I want to be the reviewer. Again, you could have this set automatically. So there's not even an option to select or to miss someone. Everyone who's going to be set to review is just automatically assigned that review task. All right, so now that it's submitted, as soon as I go to my tasks on the homepage, you'll see there I have a task to review and approve this promotion request. So we're just going to say, yep, looked through everything. Everything looks great. I love the changes. I'll go ahead and sign off on this, and we will officially release or approve this, complete the task, and then release it for all of our Windchill users to see. All right. And that's really all there is to it. So that is, in a nutshell, what the relationship between the CAD system you're using and Windchill looks like. Remember, it's not just a one-way street. It's actually a two-way relationship. We push and pull data, we communicate, we talk, it's fully integrated. And as a designer, it's not going to affect your day-to-day work at all. All it's doing is making sure that everything is managed more securely, more efficiently. You're automating as much of the process as you can to make sure everything's done in a timely manner. So now that you got to see how the Workgroup Manager integrates with, in this case, integrates Windchill into SolidWorks, I just want to share a few more points that kind of summarize.
Quick question that came in.
Yeah.
Question is are there major benefits to using Creo Parametric with Windchill as opposed to using Inventor?
Not really. Creo Parametric, it's designed to work with Windchill. So maybe there's some little nuances that are, you know, a little cleaner or something like that. I'm not even aware of them, to be honest. We've built the integration through the workgroup manager to work really just with any CAD tool, as it were, if you were a Creo user. So you're not. I don't think you're going to, you know, experience any drop in performance or functionality at all. All right, let me just finish this up here. So just want to summarize, like I said, what Windchill really can bring to you. Number one, you're standardizing your data on one platform. Obviously, that's going to involve your CAD system, but it also goes for a lot of other systems as well. It could be an ERP system that you want to connect to, an MRP system you want to connect to, CAD systems you want to connect to. All that data can still roll up into Windchill, roll up into that one bill of materials that kind of encompasses all of your data, all of your processes, everything. With traceability, full traceability that Windchill provides, you're going to reduce scrap and rework as you're dramatically cutting down the overwriting of work and CAD changes between designers and engineers through that check-in, check-out system. And ultimately, this is going to accelerate your time to market. Windchill makes it very easy for designers to reuse pre-existing CAD models that you have on your future designs. And again, reduces the scrap and rework and make sure that you're getting your product to the finish line way faster and you're spending a lot less money in the process. So that's it for this demonstration of the Windchill Workgroup Manager.
Excellent. Well, Zach, thank you very much. That was a good demo, pretty comprehensive overview for everybody. I think the SolidWorks example was good, especially since SolidWorks also has a lot of different types of files associated with it. So I hope everybody could see that, and, you know, to the one question that came in, which was good, if, you know, you're using a CAD system that is not Creo, a non-PTC CAD system, is there a benefit to it with Windchill? And the answer is no, because once again, Windchill is CAD agnostic. So Zach, thanks a lot for leading the webinar today. I want to thank our audience for being on, and we'll be back on the 25th to run a webinar focused with Windchill and change management. We will be sending out the recording to everybody by tomorrow. And if you have any questions or need any other information, just respond to the email invite that went out to everybody. Those emails come directly to me. So thanks again, everybody, for being on. Thank you, Zach, for your help, and have a great day. Take care.